Hi guys, this is Pete and this is my United point of view. Today we're going to be talking about United's upcoming game versus Charlton Athletic in the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup. Before we get into that, today's video is sponsored by Ball Tactics. Head over to their website and check out their match previews and reviews with some tongue-in-cheek humour and a great insight into the game. They're putting out some really good stuff on there. I said in the last video I did before, the article they've done on the Wout Weghorst transfer is really good. Have a look into it. Some funny bits in there comparing to Drogba and stuff. So the articles are really enjoyable. The guy who's writing is doing a really great job. So head on over there. Obviously, I'm grateful that they've sponsored the show today. So thanks for that, guys. So we're going to go into today. We're just going to go into my thoughts on the game, quick. Then we'll go into my starting 11 that I've put out there on Twitter. And then we'll also go into comments that I got on that starting 11, whether you guys agree, disagree. So, obviously my thoughts on the game. For you guys who don't really know much about Charlton, Charlton are a League One team, currently 12th in League One, mid-table League One side, a team that we should be easily beating. Even if we heavily rotate, I think it's a team that we should still thump 3 and 4-0 if we play the way that we've been playing. I had a quick look into Charlton's top goal scorers. I think the top goal scorer this year in the league has got 6 goals. I don't think they pose a great attacking threat. They haven't got, a superb finisher by my research of what I've seen. I can't remember what the guy was called, but yeah. We're not going to concentrate really too much into Charlton. Obviously, we need to respect them as opponents, but I think they're an opponent that we should be beating quite comfortably no matter the team we put out. As for the team, I think that it's going to be a little bit of rotation, but still a strong side because, that's the way Ten Hag's been up to now. So, obviously, I'll stick my starting 11 in the video up next to me. So, in net, I've gone for Jack Butland. Obviously, he's just signed for the club. I know that he's not cup tied, so I have a feeling that we're going to see him get his debut against Charlton. Butland's not a bad keeper. He was a lot better when he was younger. He's 29 now, but he's a steady keeper. Can't see us, can't see this Charlton team posing him a problem. And I think he'll be used just for rotation for the Gea and cup competitions and stuff. Then into the defence at right back, I've gone for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He's played really well lately. Obviously, Dalot's come back from injury, but I just think Wan-Bissaka will get the nod. And I think he's a good backup if he keeps on improving on the way he has been doing, going forward. He might even be able to push Dalot for his starting space. I think Dalot's been superb for us. And it's nice to see that Wan-Bissaka's took that on board and he's, improving his efforts going forward. And obviously he's great defensively. If he gets that going forward part of his game right, I think, we've got a really good battle for that right back spot. Then we move into right centre back. I've gone for Maguire. Obviously, I've posted that out there. I got a few comments saying I'm disrespectful for calling Maguire Meg Snail, but I just don't like him as a player. I'm not going to lie, I've got a little bit of agenda, I've said it before, just player's not for me. I think he's a good defender in the right team, I just don't think he's a top 4, top 6 type player, and for me I just don't like him, but I'm going to try and put that bias aside other than calling him Meg Snail. I think if he starts this game, it's a game that he shouldn't be troubled, even if he plays on the halfway line and we know he's slow and susceptible to the ball in behind. I think this is a game where we're going to have 70-80% possession. I think Maguire should be, if he can't, defend against League One strikers that are scoring 6 goals, then he shouldn't be playing football. So I think it's a perfect game to bring him in. Then at left centre-back, I've gone for Martinez. A few people have questioned this, but the reason I think Martinez is going to get the nod, obviously he's only played about 7 minutes of football since he came back from the World Cup. I think he'll have this game. Obviously it's a game against an opponent we should be beating, a game that shouldn't be too much of a challenge for him. I think Ten Hag will use this game to tune him up for the derby game that's next. So that's why I've gone for Martinez in my team. Then at left back, I've gone for Malacia. I think Malacia's been fairly solid lately. Obviously, in the game the other day, he was all right. In the games that he's played, he's nice and steady. I'd like him to improve on his attacking a little bit more, on the way he attacks. I'd like to see him, like Shaw, make more overlapping runs and stuff. But obviously, that's something Malacia will pick up over time. I think, he's only a young lad. He's been brought in as the backup, and he's got plenty of time to learn. Then moving into the midfield, I've gone with McTominay in the holding role. Obviously, McTominay is a player that I think can only be used in competitions like this. I think, he had an okay start to the season. After Casemiro came in, we had a good couple of games, but he's kind of levelled back out to his normal performances. But I think he's a handy squad player. But he's just not a starter for me in this United team. But in a game like this, you can start him, and still, I think comfortably we should win that midfield battle with a League One side, even with McTominay and with Fred next to him, I'm going to talk about in a minute. So yeah, I just think McTominay is going to be the guy that we see tomorrow next to Fred. So in the slightly more advanced midfield role, Fred, to be honest, his last couple of appearances off the bench have been really good. I think he suits that substitute role, because he's got loads of energy. But it's nice to see him get a start, and if you can, bring that form he's showed as a sub into starting, then we've got a player on our hand that's a really handy squad player. Obviously, for me, I think he's going to be used primarily off the bench this season, with Casemiro and Eriksen being the main starters. But I honestly think we'll see Fred tomorrow next to McTominay. Then in the 10 role, obviously, Bruno Fernandes is injured, leaves United with a little bit of a problem. I think the way we're going to go about fixing that is playing Eriksen as 10. Obviously, Ten Hag might have other ideas. He might go Iqbal, he might go someone else that I'm not sure of. But for me, the easy choice would be to play Eriksen there. He's a really creative player. It's a good replacement for Fernandes. Obviously, Fernandes is a bit more of a risk taker, but in a game where I think we're going to be keeping the ball and having high percent of possession, it might be a good play to have. Excuse me, in that number 10 role. Then moving out to the right hand side, I've stuck with Anthony. I just think he needs more games. Playing in a game like this, where he's against lower opposition, might give him a bit of confidence. He might be able to take a few men on, show us what he's capable of against a lesser opponent, and give himself that confidence to make him think if he can do it against them, he can do it against bigger opponents. So that's what I'm hoping for from the performance tomorrow if Anthony does start. Obviously, I thought he was good the other day in the FA Cup, and I just want to see him push on and add more goals and assists and kind of take a man on a bit more instead of roll, pass back. And then on the left-hand side, I've gone with Garnacho. Obviously, Garnacho's been a very good impact sub lately, and I'd like to see him do it from starts, because when he has started, he hasn't been as effective. But obviously, he's a young kid. Well, he's only 18, isn't he? So, you can't. I don't want to place too much pressure on his shoulders. And I think, like I said about Anthony, it'll be a good game for him. Being direct, running at fullbacks that are playing at a lower level. I think they'll be absolutely terrified of his pace and his directness, and for me that's who I'd start. Now up front, I've gone for Martial. I just think that you need to keep on giving Martial games and try and force him into some form. Obviously, we've had these rumours that we're going to be trying to sign Weghorst. The last thing I've seen on it is that if Besiktas refuse Man United, he's willing to pay the contract termination fee out of his own money, which just shows that the guy wants to come to the club. But I'd give Martial another chance. I think he needs to play as many games as possible to finger yourself back into form, to fire yourself back into form after injury. So yeah, guys, that's my starting 11. So obviously, like everything else, I stuck it out on Twitter. Obviously, I've had quite a lot of tweets off this. I think about 1 second, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've had 11 replies off this, which is quite good. Quite a lot of interaction. I really appreciate all you guys interacting in this, and anyone who does interact, I always shout out the Twitter handles and stuff. So the first comment that I got was from at the real _ Olamide, and he said he'd rather use Shaw as a centre back than Maguire. Now, obviously, we have seen that, but I think in this game, I did reply to this and say I think in this game against the League One opposition that Maguire will be fine to start. And obviously, if he doesn't trust him to start in a Carabao Cup game against a League One striker, then Maguire's got serious problems. He needs to move now. He needs to find himself a move, because if Ten Hag can't trust you in this game, he's not going to trust you at all. Then next, at Mentally Stone 7 said, "We will lose with Harry Maguire at centre back." And then in another tweet that was a little bit later, he said, "Maguire on the bench, Shaw as centre back." Now, again, just shows the lack of confidence everyone seems to have in Maguire, me included. But in this game, you know, he's a good enough player that he should be able to cope with this, even with his lack of pace. He should be able to deal with this Charlton team. Then the next tweet I got was from at Miko Tech, and he said, "This graphic is ugly." Taking a shot at my brilliant photo editing skills. Obviously, I do all the stuff for myself through a free photo editor, and sometimes it doesn't work out great, but you know, we're trying. I'm trying to learn. He said, "Nevertheless, we can work with that." I think he means the squad. Obviously, I think that squad is plenty good enough to do the job. But thanks for noticing my awesome editing skills. Like, I'm the best, obviously. Then the next tweet was from at Enoch31634744, and he just said, "A nice simple #Glazers out." Obviously, I echo that sentiment. Want them out as soon as possible. Need to keep on getting it trending. Don't let them think now they've put the club up for sale that they're going to get an easy ride and then they'll find investment. Show them the door. Just get them out. Everyone who does that hashtag, I have nothing but appreciation for you. I think you guys are great. Obviously, I try and hit it on every tweet that I put out because I just want them gone. Then the next tweet that I got was from at Saunders_V, and they said, "I don't think Maguire and Martinez would be a pairing, but the rest seems alright." Obviously, the few times they have played together, obviously we got beat off Brighton and then spanked off Brentford, so I understand people like reluctant to see that partnership, but again, against this team, I think the partnership is good enough, and I think Martinez has got his feet under the table a lot more. He's a lot more confident now, so I think that partnership will be fine. But the manager might play Maguire and Lindelof because they're so familiar together, which I wouldn't have a problem with, or maybe Martinez and Lindelof. We'll have to see. Then the next one was from at Julius Pianist. He said, "I believe we should play Iqbal and Palestra." On that, I would like to see us maybe put some youth in the team, but the way Ten Hag is, for that I've seen so far, he doesn't take risks. Maybe if we, start the game with a strong team, 3 or 4-0 up at half time, I think he'll throw them both on, possibly. Give him that chance to have a run out and show the stuff against a team like Charlton. But, I can't see him starting. If they're going to play, I think they'll play from the bench. I can't see him starting. I'd love to see it, because I think we should put trust in youth, and I think Ten Hag is that manager, but I think he wants to get far in these competitions, and I don't think he'll take any risks on kids right now. Then at Andy Ten Hag 14 just said Meg Snail, laughing faces, obviously, because in the picture I've put Meg Snail instead of Maguire, just because I don't like him. He's got the turning circle of a tugboat. Looks like he's running and bleeding in cement half the time. Weighed down boots. I don't know what it is, but he's just super slow. So the next tweet is from at SpideySense365. He said, "Can't have McFred. I'd actually play Zidane alongside Fred." Obviously, if that was the case, and that's what Ten Hag decided to do, play one of either Fred or McTominay with Zidan and Iqbal, I'd love to see it. I want to see what Iqbal can do. When I've seen him in a few youth games that I've watched, and obviously in the pre-season games and the stuff that we did mid-season, he's a calm, composed player on the ball. He looks like he's fine handling the ball under pressure. I'm just not sure that Ten Hag trusts him completely. And obviously with him being a young kid and just coming through. But it would be great to see him start. So if he did play again alongside Fred or alongside McTominay, I'd be all for that. So then the next tweet is from @Hanlow86, and he said, "Given what I've seen so far, I expect him to field a very strong team, put the game to bed earlier, then make changes." That's kind of what I see happening. Obviously, this is a little bit of a rotated squad, but there's still all, there's no youth players in there. They're all first team start. Obviously, Garnacho, but he's a player that's been getting into the first team a lot lately, and I just think that he'll put out a slightly weakened team, but not weakened to the point that we can't win the game. Then the next one was from our sponsors at @bald_tactics, and he just said, "Dude, Meg Snail is killing me." Loads of laughing faces. Obviously, that's just a nickname I've given him. Like I said at the start of the video, I do have a little bit of an agenda against him. He's not my type of player. I don't think he should be at this club. At a Leicester, at a Villa, at a team lower down in the Premier League who play a different way to what we want to play. Obviously, we want to play these high line centre-backs that play on a halfway line. Maguire's never going to be able to do that. He doesn't do that for England. He didn't do that for Leicester. He wants to defend. He wants to head balls out the box. He doesn't mind being under pressure. And he's not terrible on the ball. I think at a lower league, a lower Premier League side from like 6 lower, good player but just at United and the way he's performed, and obviously with the stuff that happened with him when he tried to bribe that police officer in Greece, that's just made my mind up about him. I don't think he's the right material for Man United, and I definitely don't think he's a captain for Man United. But that's just me. And then the last one is from @Danny A07 Allen, and they said the disrespect of one of our own players is a disgrace. Obviously, it was put out there as a joke. That's what I call him. It's what I call him to my friends. It's what I've called him plenty of times before on my tweets. It's just me having a joke because I don't particularly like the player. Obviously, every time he pulls a United shirt on, I hope he does well. I never think he's going to because I don't have trust in the player, but I hope he does well. So yeah, that's all the tweets I got in from you guys, and like I've said before on several occasions, I really appreciate all the interaction I get through Twitter, and it gives me stuff to talk about, which makes the show hopefully more entertaining. Obviously, I am trying to work on that and be a bit more myself, because on some of the first videos I look miserable and petrified because obviously I've never done this before, and I was a little bit nervous about it, but now I feel like I am starting to get into the groove a little bit and have a little bit more confidence, and hopefully things will be a bit more interesting. And obviously once I get a few more subscribers and I can start doing lives, I keep on saying 50 is my target, because then I can do live streams through my mobile, which is what I really want to do. Then I think that the shows will get even more entertaining when I can interact with you guys straight through the live chat. So that's something that I would really like to happen soon. So if there's any new viewers watching, hit that like and subscribe, like the video. The more it's liked, the more that it turns up on other people's Facebook's suggested videos and homepages and stuff. So obviously hit the like button, really appreciate it. And if you've not subscribed, click that button, get subscribed. Obviously I'm just a fan. I'm doing it for my own. I just love United. That's it gives me something to do, and obviously I want to create a community with it. Obviously all you guys who have been watching, all the people that have subscribed, I appreciate every view, and I thank you all. And I'd like to obviously grow that bigger. Obviously make the community section on the YouTube channel a little bit more active. I'm going to try posting a few more things in there to kind of get you guys involved. But I'm really enjoying doing this. I've been doing it for like 2 months now, and it's the thing that I enjoy doing in the day. Obviously, other than spending time with kids and my missus, it's my go-to thing just to make me happy. So I really appreciate all you guys. Thank you very much for watching again. Obviously, check out the match reaction. It'll most probably be either put on tomorrow night or after the game, or possibly the day after morning, because sometimes I can't film the videos just in case my autistic child doesn't go to sleep. So we have to kind of work around that. But like I said, just look out for the next one. Thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe. Really appreciate all you guys. Cheers.